Well, welcome back to the Sean O'Connell Show, ESPN 792.1 FM. Devon Dampier joins us, courtesy of Culligan Water, Salt Lake City. Taste the Culligan difference. Polylift Concrete Lifting and Piering, America First Credit Union, and ARUP Blood Services. Give local, save local. Devon Dampier, welcome back once again. How are you?
I'm doing good. You got more smooth with the little intro, huh?
Bro, I finally memorized all the sponsors, which is something I should be better at this far into my radio career, but here we are. All right. I feel like I can ask you about this because Kyle Whittingham has been a lot more transparent about it.
For sure.
Devon Dampier is banged up. Now, you've toughed it out for I don't know how many games in a row. You did it again against Baylor. Give us some insight. How are you actually feeling? What is the thing that's bugging you? And how do you know as the practice week progresses how close to 100% you're going to feel on a Saturday?
Yeah, I guess I won't talk specific, but just banged up for sure. To be honest, last game kind of helped me with Bird stepping up and Wayshawn having the game they did, and I didn't have to run as much, so.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was like another day of healing. I didn't walk out the game hurting more, so I practiced Tuesday. This has been the first time I've done that in a long time, taking all the reps. So, it kind of worked out for me at the end.
All right, so the first Tuesday you've practiced in a while, and look, you've still performed at the level a starter is supposed to perform without a full week of practice preparation. When physically you can't be out there taking those reps, how do you make sure you get the mental rep? How do you make sure that you're, focusing in and still improving or still doing what you need to be doing to get ready, anticipating that, well, maybe on Wednesday I will be practicing, maybe on Thursday I will be practicing or whatever?
Yeah, just being more dialed in film for sure, just knowing what's going to happen. But also, I'm right when Bird goes in to fill my place. I'm right behind him. I'm like 10 yards behind, seeing the same thing he's seeing every play, and just kind of playing out what I would do in that situation and things like that. So, the mental reps are definitely being taken.
Is this something you've dealt with before, high school, at New Mexico, whatever, where your body's just not as dialed in as you need it to be, as healthy as you need it to be over the course of a season, and you just had to kind of grit through it, or is this new for you?
Yeah, at New Mexico I had 2 little AC sprains on my shoulders. So after every game, normally Monday I couldn't do anything. Tuesday I wouldn't do any long passes, and then normally by Wednesday I'd be good. So something a little similar to last year, but to this extent I'm definitely fighting a little bit more than I was last year.
So a lot of times you see people who are kind of nagged by an injury, and you could tell they're nagged by an injury, right? It casts a little cloud over the disposition. Now, maybe you just put on a happy face when you're here with us, but it seems like it hasn't affected you too negatively in a mental sense. It can be really taxing to be constantly in pain, to be, having a hard time getting out of bed, whatever it is. How have you kind of stayed positive through a less than ideal physical situation?
Yeah. Obviously mentally I'm not where I want to be. It's annoying sometimes for sure, but when your team steps up to things I can't do, there's other guys doing that at a very high level. Winning games is the most important thing to me, always has been. So that's when we're winning games. That's what's fun to me. That's what puts a smile on my face. Seeing the boys happy after the games, that's honestly my fulfillment. So. When I just get to see that, why not be able to smile through my pains?
It feels like a pretty unique situation where you still have that implicit trust from your coaching staff and from your teammates, because it's a very easy thing. We see fan bases do it all the time. Oh, he's not 100%. Who's the backup? Why can't we get this guy in? Whatever. And it's been managed, I think, as close to perfect as it can be. Yes, Bird is being used, and yes, we saw Bird start a game, and it was really good to see. But your teammates are still responding to you the way that you would expect a fully healthy starter to be responded to.
Yeah, just again, that starts from the beginning. Just being able to earn my team's trust since the beginning, and just the way they look at me, especially where we're at right now. I kind of don't have that choice to be slacking down and things like that. I'm leading on this team, and I got to be able to show that every day. But yeah, I mean, my boys are behind my back. I love that. Birds behind my back. So, whatever's going on in our locker room, that's what's important to me. Obviously, there's the outside noise and whatnot, but what's going on with the people I see every day is definitely what stands out to me.
Is it making you, being a little banged up and not being able to use your legs as much, is it making you a better quarterback in some ways? Because, I mean, I come from that combat sports world, right? My left hand was everything for me. If you'd then told me, like, hey, you can only throw that left hand 2 or 3 times, that changes everything, right? Your ability to run, your quickness, your elusiveness is a huge weapon for you as a football player. And if that is hampered, is it making you a better quarterback, a better decision maker, I don't know, a more accurate passer, whatever?
Yeah, I would definitely say just my pocket presence and knowing protection, who I need to throw off of if blitz comes, things like that. I definitely say that's probably shot up just a bit, just being able to take more drop back and plays like that. So I definitely say there's a little bit of its benefit from it.
We saw some huge plays. Obviously, team that puts up 55 points. You had a bunch of really good plays against Baylor. Saw one of my favorite things that I hope will remain part of this play. The little pop passes where they're almost like that old Florida Tim Tebow jump pass. Bentley got all the way open for that touchdown. And I guess we've seen it maybe in a game or two earlier in the year. What do you love that play? Do you like that play? Is that a play that you think you could hit more often?
Yeah. It's one of those plays where when we get all those big guys in there and we're pretty good at getting the first down. I think we're pretty high on efficiency of on third down, so teams have to respect that. So they tend to lose a little bit of the other guys, and that Dallin just went ahead and popped open. It was pretty nice to throw it.
I know I ask you about the offensive line every week, but this group, especially in these last 3 weeks, especially in this last game, it's pretty clear that they've decided, like, hey, Dev might not be 100%. Our wide receiving core might have some questions or whatever. We're just going to go out. We're going to help win these games. I mean, 380 yards of rushing is stupid in a Power 4 game. You're not supposed to be able to do that to a team that's as good as Baylor. And that's a defensive-minded head coach, by the way, on the other side. So Baylor is just tortured by giving up that many rushing yards. And I ask you about them every week, like I said, but just give me a sense of this offensive line, the leadership, their presence in practice, and just the weapon they are on the football field, because there were several plays. I think one of Bird's big runs and Wayshawn's big run, they didn't get touched. They didn't have to break a tackle. The holes were there.
Yeah. I mean, performance-wise, I mean, especially just talking about this game, I think Way and Bird, they both were able to get to the safeties, untouched, that's huge for O-line to be able to get a hat on a hat and actually block it good also. So huge credit to them. But, man, they're the same guy. They're the same guys every day. Rather it's film, rather it's practice. They're the energy. They're so energetic. Loving, they care for one another. So, I'm happy to be behind them every game. I go to work for those boys, and they do for me as well. So,
Dishin with Dev here on the Sean O'Connell Show, brought to you by Culligan Water of Salt Lake City. Taste the Culligan difference. Polylift Concrete Lifting and Piering, ARUP Blood Services, Give Local, Save Local, and America First Credit Union. So, Kansas State this week. What are you seeing on film from this Kansas State Wildcats team? They're kind of like Baylor in the sense that there's a lot of talent on this team. It hasn't all come together. They don't have the win-loss record that they would like, but still a dangerous team.
Yeah, kind of exactly what you said. I feel like that's what I've seen. They look like a very solid group, especially, when they are clicking, and some games they don't. So, very respectable opponent that we're going against. At the end of the day, we still got to do our part to stay winned out.
So the coaching staff has to do the thing where it's like, hey, 1 week at a time, we don't pay attention to these college football rankings. the playoff rankings are kind of the whole part of our job. It's like the whole thing for us, right? Right now, you guys are being shown a lot of respect. The Big 12 Conference is being shown a lot of respect. And it feels like the path is at least partially open, either back into the conference championship game, depending on some of the results, or even around the conference championship game into national prominence, into potentially college football playoff spot. And I know you focus on Kansas State and just going out and getting the win. But what is that conversation in the locker room? Like when that ranking comes out, what are you saying to each other when you go sit in the lockers and you're getting taped up and whatever else?
Yeah, man, our program, we do treat everything one game at a time, to be completely honest.
That's the boring answer. I know, like
it is though. It truly is. Like as soon as we seen 12, we're like, all right, got to bump one more up this week. Let's do what we do. Let's get this big win, and it should keep clicking down. And I think the two options obviously are BYU gets beat by Cincinnati, and that kind of moves us into that conference championship, or if they win out, then they get to play Texas Tech. Hopefully, that loss allows us to bump in. It kind of sounds like that's our two scenarios. So, win out is what's going to put us in that situation. So we know one game at a time is should do us good.
So, all right, with all that in mind, you got to win out, and you're preparing yourself for a Kansas State team that we've covered is pretty solid and can be dangerous, but it's been back-to-back offensive performances, dominant performances. How do you maintain that going into a game like this one, where the stakes increasingly get higher and higher, where the opponent in some ways can be, more difficult, at least in some scenarios? How do you maintain this level of performance from, by the way, a program that typically has not had dominant offenses? It's always been the defense, and then the offense kind of like comes along. How do you maintain what has been happening these last 3 weeks?
Man, that all starts from the culture that we built from the beginning, and just the mentality going into this week. Coach Utes made it a big point that don't be complacent right now. We're not where we want to be yet, so don't make it seem like we are. I think everybody took that message, and especially with the practice yesterday, I thought guys came out firing like we normally do, and shoot, we're ready. We're ready.
It is senior day on Saturday. It's an afternoon game, and for a lot of guys who've been very important to this program, this is the last time they're going to play on the home field. It's a different scenario for you because you're a newcomer to the program, but you're also in that leadership role. What are the emotions going to be like on Saturday for some of those guys, and for you watching some of those guys who've kind of laid the foundation that you've obviously benefited from?
Yeah, man, very high. Those guys are very happy that they're here as a Utah U, and man, it shows every day. So. I'm thankful for those guys. They definitely set the standard this year. They've been in the program for multiple years, so they knew the standard. They set it. And yeah, I mean, we follow behind those guys. So it's great to be able to be on the field with them one last time in Rice Eccles, and it'll be huge for them to leave off with a win.
Are you generally like sentimental and emotional about stuff like that? Like, obviously you don't have to be on set, but like maybe you will be. That your whole offensive line has the potential to leave. Right. This could be the last home game for all those guys. Are you an emotional type? Are you like a crier? Are you someone like your final high school game or whatever where you're crying about it or something like that?
Yeah. Man, I don't remember the last time I've cried, sadly. But. Yeah, I don't cry too often, but
no movies make you cry.
Man, me and Jaron, just that quarterback center relationship. It's different than any other positions. So yeah, man, I'm very happy for him. Very happy for our friendship. It's gonna go a long way. So that's definitely a guy. I'm gonna feel it in my heart when he walks with his family and stuff. So.
That's actually an interesting one. Jaron Kump he's been around. It feels like he's been around for a decade, and I can't decide if it's more meaningful from a fan perspective, from an observer perspective, when a guy comes through and he's had like the greatest career, right? Like your 4 years at the program have been championship years or whatever. Or if it's a guy who's had the highest highs and the lowest lows. Jaron Kump's been through both.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Big time success in the Pac-12 conference, and then the transition, and last year being not what everyone hoped it would be. And then to see him and everyone else kind of go out on a high note this year would be, I think, really impactful.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's very impressive to see those guys that made it to the top, had some struggle, and then get right back up there, find a way to battle through things, and he's definitely a warrior for sure. So
yeah. Another media thing that's happening this week, and I wonder how the team is even talking about it, if they are. There's speculation that like this is Kyle Whittingham's last home game at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Is he going to retire this year? That's been a storyline all year long. And Coach Witt was asked about it this week. He said, "I'm not going to let you know. I will be here one day. I will be gone the next day." Knowing Kyle Whittingham the way we do, I think if anything, rather than telling people, he would try to hide it if he had intentions. Do you get any kind of sense one way or another?
I do not. I have no clue what Headman's gonna do, but I think he set it up beautiful for Coach Cali to take over when that time comes. But man, we got no clue. We got no clue what's up to.
He's so mysterious, Kyle Whittingham. All right, I want to ask you something that doesn't apply to Utah football, and we're very grateful, actually. It doesn't apply to Utah football right now. But we talked last week about the coaching carousel and how movement's already happening. Virginia Tech hired James Franklin. So there's going to be a sort of reorganization of the coaching world. And Ole Miss is in a position right now where it looks like they're headed to the college football playoff, right? And their head coach is being named as the top candidate at LSU, at Florida. His family's flying on private jets to go look at houses and stuff like that in those other places. And we've seen this before. It was when Mario Cristobal was going to Miami from Oregon, right? That was a really good Oregon team. And players try to stay focused. You can't fully ignore what's happening in the news cycle, though. If your coach's wife and kids are in another city looking at houses, that's got to affect you mentally some way or another. Thankfully, it doesn't apply to Utah football. But if you're an Ole Miss player right now, or a player at any one of these teams that's got any of this situation going on right now, how do you handle that? How do you look at – I know it's a business. There's guys on your own team who are probably looking to see where they're going to be next year, et cetera, et cetera. But you're a playoff team potentially. You're a team that's in that conversation. And the coach is like, maybe I'll be here next year, maybe I won't. How do you handle it?
Yeah, that's the tough world of college football right now. Shoot. I would say, you would hope the team's culture is obviously it starts with the coaches, but hopefully you hope it's player-led by, that by playoff time. You
Sure.
would hope that the players are the reason why the culture's there and the standards are there. So losing the head coach definitely sucks, but as a team, I feel like it kind of brings you together even more. To go out there without that person, the leader's got to step up a lot more, and the trust has got to be there. So I hope that's there for them, and they can overcome that if that's what happens.
I would be mad. As a player, I would be mad. And, would I try to prepare the same way, play the same way? Certainly. But would you be looking at me like, man, you're telling us buy in 100%, be all about the team first, and now you're out here buying houses in Gainesville?
Yeah, it ain't. I don't think anybody's going to be happy. I'll say that for sure. I don't think anybody's happy that he's leaving, but shoot, I hope his closest people ask him why he's leaving, and he gives them an answer they can somewhat settle in their heart that they're okay with it.
And look, maybe he's staying. We don't know. But just the rumor mill and the buzz around it seems like he's the next head man at Florida. While his team, by the way, still has to go play their in-state rivalry game. They got to play the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State. They got to find a way to win a playoff game or two potentially. It's just an insane situation.
Right. Yeah, it is.
But it's the world of college football right now.
Yeah, for sure.
and the other part of this, the other side of this, is player movement, right? We're getting to the time of year where I imagine tampering is at an all-time high. Agents are getting phone calls. Agents are making phone calls, whatever. Do you know about any of that noise happening with the Utah football team, with yourself? I mean, you played really well this year. I imagine there's some teams just like, hey, Coach Lane Kiffin's going to be at Florida. Devon, come to Florida with. I mean, how do you handle that? Is it something you have to handle?
Yeah, man, I think that's part of the college football game right now. I think every team is dealing with that for sure right now. For us, I haven't heard anything. I haven't been approached, but I can imagine under the lights, things are probably going on right now. So you just hope players don't make decisions off first instinct. Hopefully they come up to me before an offensive player wants to do anything. Man, I hate seeing guys go without getting a word to talk to them. But yeah, I mean that's the game of college football right now.
So there is like the business aspect where you just have to be happy for guys getting opportunities and things like that. But you do want an opportunity. If someone, you've got plenty of, especially young talent on this team that's kind of emerged. Like, I'm going to use Daniel Bray. I'm not reporting anything. This is just a hypothetical,
sure.
Right? Daniel Bray comes to you just like, man, I just got this phone call, Dev, and whoever, Oregon wants me, or USC wants me, or Texas wants me. I'm thinking about it. I love being at Utah. Like, what would you say in a situation like that?
Man, I always ask what people's priorities are, what your end goal is, because I think certain situations can drift you to the league, and I think certain situations can possibly hurt your career at the end of the day. So just depends on what the priority, which you feel like you need right now, and I just always try to address that with what I feel is somewhat best for your future. But at the end of the day, you make what you feel is right. I never want to be the reason you didn't do something and something goes bad and it's blamed on me, but I'm definitely going to give my input for sure.
And these are my words, not Devon Dampier's words, but we do not have really any strong example of a player leaving Utah, transferring to somewhere else, and having their career go better after they left. Find one if you can and send it to me, 877-353-0700. The guys who left this year in the transfer portal, and I don't relish this, I'm not celebrating this, I'm just stating it as a fact. When you leave this Utah football program, you don't develop better, you don't develop faster, you don't typically have a better result or a better career after you leave. It just has not happened for the guys that have left the program.
Yeah, man, you would think when you hear that, you would stay and just realize, this place is this is a place that's going to develop you and make you the best player you can be. So, man, that's why you hold Utah at such a high standard as a school, as a program, you would think. So, yeah, you just hope people look into that when, they're going to make their decisions, and hopefully they're for sure about their decisions also.
All right, the last question is going to be a tough one, but it's something that has come up conversationally these last couple of weeks. Do you think that you and Bird Ficklin are both on the roster in 2026?
Man, we talk about it all the time. We hope so. That's the goal. Has been the goal since the beginning. So, man, yeah, that's what we've been hoping for. No doubt about it. We hope everything works out after the season's over and whatnot. So, yeah, that's my input on it.
Well, I will echo that sentiment. I think we all hope that is the case. That's Dishin with Dev. Good luck against Kansas State.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Conversation with Devon Dampier brought to you every single week by Culligan Water of Salt Lake City. Taste the Culligan difference. Polylift Concrete Lifting and Piering, ARUP Blood Services, Give Local, Save Local, and America First Credit Union. Lots left to get to on the Sean O'Connell Show. It's ESPN 700, 92.1 FM.